What up guys, it's Dragon Ball for Life here today and I'm back with another video. Now today's video we're going to be reacting to a video by Jobber and Goons called Why Orange Piccolo versus the Thing is Not Even Close. Now this was suggested to me by a viewer of mine by the name of CJ. He stated to check this one out and the Goku versus Superman video on why that fight also isn't even close. Now I've checked both of them out, but I'm going to be reacting to them with you guys so I can get more of my footing on what I want to talk about in these videos. I think it's better to watch it beforehand for me, because then when they have some points to talk about, I can recognize what they talked about, so I can go more in depth in it. So I'm really excited to get into these two videos because there's quite a bit of information and stuff that he says that I disagree with, and I want to make a counter argument to his argument. So yeah, let's get into it.
Orange Piccolo, we're gonna keep it short, right? We're gonna just say he's Goku level, current Goku level. That's perfectly fine with me. We can go with that, right? No problem. If you want to use high-end scaling, like when I say high-end, 99% of people consider it wanked because it was outer versal with higher tier speed metas too. You can go hit up my Why Superman vs. Goku Isn't Close for my really high-end Goku scale. Now, let's give that to Orange Piccolo. Let me tell you why Ben Grimm ain't giving a fuck about any of that, okay? Y'all disrespected the GOAT, and I don't get why. You need to fucking educate yourselves on what this man has done in the trenches. This is crazy to talk wild like Orange Piccolo's just running up and doing them dirty. No, the fuck he's not. He's getting... First of all, that's his son, okay? The archetype Ben Grimm is that brawler that holds it down until someone can come up with a plan or go get somebody else to help beat the big bad. That shit Piccolo does? Guess who was doing that for decades before him, bitch? Ben Grimm. That's his son, first of all, okay? So watch your mouths, because y'all been talking crazy about being really disrespectful. It's one thing to say you believe Orange Piccolo wins. It's one thing to say, what the fuck's Ben gonna do? Ben's a bum. Ben doesn't have any good skill. Like, y'all are fucking dumb, okay? First of all, this man knocked out a feral Silver Surfer. Straight up knocked him out. That same punch that KOs a feral Silver Surfer wipes Piccolo off the map. I'm sorry. Order your t-shirt. Piccolo's gonna be on the fucking cover of it if he gets touched by that same punch. Are you serious? That's ridiculous. Piccolo's not tanking that shit. On top of that, he later goes on to fight a God Mode Silver Surfer and was perfectly fine. He also has beaten up and bested Dr. Doom. Straight up gone toe-to-toe with him. You think Orange Piccolo is beating Dr. Doom? Can we have a serious conversation? Can we be honest? Guess what? When the writer, Stan Lee, same character in the comics that can produce ideas and narratives, right? And multiverses with characters and heroes. He took a wrong turn down Yancey Street and got mauled by Ben Grimm. And then saved by Ben Grimm because he was terrified of Yancey Street. And realized he can't change the narrative of Ben Grimm because Ben Grimm's the GOAT. He'll always be the Thing. The Thing has become an icon. It's become who he is. And that'll never change. Even Stan Lee learned from Ben Grimm and got humbled by Ben Grimm. The damn writer.
Okay, so I want to stop there. I think that image is, first of all, pretty interesting, so I'll talk about that later because I think it does have a part to play. It's kind of ironic also. He's talking about like how strong Silver Surfer is, then you see him getting hit with a boulder and that's like hurting him and knocking him off. Like, if he's that powerful, a boulder getting kicked at you shouldn't be really that impressive. But I want to talk more about his argumented points. He gave 3 feats. Him beating Silver Surfer in an enraged version of him and a God Mode version of him. Him beating Dr. Doom and him beating Stan Lee. Now first let's talk about Silver Surfer. Him being Silver Surfer, how impressive is this? Well, personally, I don't know because he didn't really go in depth on what makes it so impressive to beat Silver Surfer. And this is one of the things that I dislike about, channels like his and other, power scaling or debating channels. When they talk about, oh, this character versus that character, they usually go into their feats. And one of their feats is, oh, they beat this, and this character in their universe. And if you're a person who's connected to that universe and understand it, it means something to you. But if you're a viewer who does not know much about that universe or is just going to this, battle only knowing more about one universe than the other, you hearing somebody saying, well, this character beat this or that character in that universe, it doesn't really hold that much weight to the general audience or the person who has no real knowledge of that universe, because you're just saying he's beating this and that character. It doesn't really mean anything. Now, unless if you're going more in depth and saying, well, this character is able to do this and accomplish this, this character was able to tank a universe-destroying attack, and and he was still able to beat him, then you have an argument. But just saying, well, he beat the Silver Surfer. Okay, how powerful is the Silver Surfer? There's a ton of people that are not comic book fans or just don't know much about Marvel, and they want to know how powerful he is. Just saying that Ben Grimm beat, the Silver Surfer doesn't really mean much. Now, I do personally know more about Silver Surfer, so compared to I guess average person, I know more about his character, but compared to higher comic book fans, I don't know that much about him. But from what I've seen, when he gets to his highest level of peak of power, he's more like on Galactus's level and shown to even beat Galactus, because it makes sense. He's Galactus's herald. He gave him his power, so if he is gonna be, the highest he should be beating is him. It doesn't make sense to beat somebody above Galactus's level, even though he got his powers from Galactus. That would just make no sense. Yeah, technically, it doesn't make any sense that he would be able to beat Galactus in the first place either, since he gave him a bit of his power. How does getting a bit of the guy's power give you enough power to be the guy who gave you that power? It doesn't make any sense, but that doesn't matter. It's comic books. But he's stating that Silver Surfer, in an enraged version, he was able to take him, and a godly version of him. And he's stating that this is impressive. This is something that Orange Piccolo can't handle. And as he stated earlier, he's going to compare him to Orange Piccolo to Goku's level. So this is not just saying Orange Piccolo, but it's saying Goku, and majority of the Dragon Ball characters are not on this level. And also on top of that, he winked Goku in the Goku vs Superman video to the highest end, saying he's outerversal. Personally, I don't believe he's outerversal. I would put him at high, multiversal, but outerversal I think is way too far. And I know a lot of Dragon Ball fans are going to disagree with me. I don't care. That's where I personally place him myself. But he was putting him even above that, saying that Orange Piccolo in this argument is outerversal, and Ben Grimm was able to beat Silver Surfer, which is above that. So he's saying Silver Surfer is above outerversal. Where's your proof? Where's the evidence? I'm not saying he isn't, but where's the evidence? There's no real proof, and I do have some argumentative proof to discredit this. If you know more about Marvel, and you know all these characters' powers, you can compare them a lot easier. So since he said Silver Surfer is he beat Silver Surfer, which is impressive. And like I explained, Silver Surfer at his highest peak is on Galactus's level, right? Well, how powerful is Galactus? Well, he's basically matched up to and compared to Thanos without the Infinity Gauntlet and without the Heart of the Universe or any of these other, items in their universe that give them insane powers. Without that, he's equivalent to Thanos. They're both equivalent power. There's a comic book panel. I don't know which comic book it is specifically, but I've seen it where they both fire an energy attack at each other, and basically they cancel it out, so they're pretty much even. So Thanos is equivalent to Galactus, and Galactus is the highest upper echelon for Silver Surfer. So usually Silver Surfer is beneath him or just right to him. So how powerful is he? Well, from what I've seen from other comic book channels and in depth they've gone in, they explained that at most Thanos without all the Infinity Gauntlets and this other stuff is only galaxy level, which is still impressive, but compared to outerversal being, or even a multiversal level being, or hell, even a universal level being, it's nowhere near close. So yeah, Thanos, without all these other items, he's usually galaxy level. And the reason why it makes sense that he wouldn't be beyond that is whenever he uses the Heart of the Universe makes him as powerful, it makes him a universal level being. Whenever he's had the power of that, he's manipulated that one universe, Earth 616, which is the main, Marvel timeline and universe. He's only affected Earth 616. He doesn't affect other realities. So he's obviously not multiversal. He's only universal. And with the Infinity Gauntlet, we also know that the power does not work outside of each individual universe. So it only works in Earth 616's universe. It doesn't work in any of the other ones. And if it's from another universe, then it only works in that universe. So at most, even though the Infinity Gauntlet has some crazy power, at most it would only be a universal level of power because it cannot go beyond that. So if he's using these items that are at max universal level in power, then, and if he's supposed to be, matching Galactus, and Galactus is, Silver Surfer is supposed to be above him or at his level, then, why would he use items that are only going to make him universal level? If we're putting him around that level, which is above even outerversal level, why would he need an item that makes him universal at most when these guys are supposed to be outerversal? oh, maybe they are not outer versal, maybe he's wanking these characters, maybe he's not giving any context or real like argumentative proof. And this one thing I also hate about his channel and other power scaling channels or versus slash debating channels is when they say these arguments. They either say they beat this character or that character. I already talked about that. They're not showing us what they were able capable of accomplishing with that power. But also another problem with it is they list off countless feats, but they never give us a reference to where they got these feats from. When I do these videos, if I don't know it, I'll stay straight up like, hey, this is the information I got, I just don't know where I got it from. You guys can look for it on your own. But if I do, I will tell you guys straight up, hey, look, this is the comic book it came from, and this is the issue, specific number issue that you can go and look for it for yourself. So that's one thing I don't like about these channels is they spout off countless feats back to back to back, but they don't give us any references on where they got these from. And for me personally, if I want to prove my point 100%, I'll give you the reference so you guys can go check it out yourself to see if I'm lying or if I'm making things up, because I'm not gonna lie. If I feel like I was wrong, I'm just gonna say, hey, yeah, I was wrong, the power scaling, I got it wrong, I thought it was this way, then I checked it out and I was wrong. But like I said, normally I already checked them out before that, so that's not going to really happen. Unless, like I said, some certain stuff, but then I admit it already. I didn't check it out. I just know some stuff about it. But yeah, sorry if you hear that. I think that's a fire alarm out there or, ambulance. But like I said, Galactus, and this is my argument of point, Galactus is equivalent to Thanos, right? And Galactus is the highest peak that Silver Surfer can reach, right? And Galactus, if Thanos is considered to be galaxy level, so if Galactus is matching in power with him, that would mean that he is only galaxy level, which is way below what he put him at. And if you guys want to say, well, where do you get the argument that he's galaxy level? Like I said, there's other comic book channels you can check out where they talk about Thanos' power and also Galactus' power, where you can find that out. And also, if you don't believe in that, like I said in my argument, he uses the Infinity Gauntlet and the Heart of the Universe, which only makes him universal level. So if he's a being that's on outer versal levels of power, why would he need items that only put him on universal level? That's just ridiculous. So yeah, Silver Surfer is not that powerful, especially since he got hurt by a rock. I mean, I'm not saying he's always like this, but there's, this also showcases that just because Ben has been able to beat Silver Surfer by himself doesn't mean that Silver Surfer is always at the same level of power as he's always shown. Sometimes they nerf characters to make them look weaker, so weaker characters can have more of a fight back and forth. I mean, normally Silver Surfer wouldn't be even flinch of a boulder hit him. It would have just shattered into millions of pieces and you've been like looking at it like, okay. But in this one, it knocked him off because they nerfed him so he can be more matched to Ben's level because that's more on his level. But then he stated Doctor Doom. Once again, he's making a statement of, oh, he beat this character, didn't go in depth on why he's that powerful. Now, there is a comic book where it's Secret Wars, I think it was not that long ago, where he easily obliterated Thanos. He grabbed onto him and it destroyed him and had his skeleton in his hand. But that was Galactus that was able to obtain godly power. Normally, Doctor Doom that obtained godly power. Normally, Doctor Doom is not, godly levels of power. What makes Doctor Doom very, powerful and very threatening is the fact that he is very, he's very versatile. He's very intelligent. He has great tech, and he also has, connection to magic. So he has things that are dangerous about him, but it's not because he's super powerful or super fast or super durable or whatever. It's just that he has those other aspects, and mainly his intelligence and his ability to, strategize and use that to his, his advantage. But normally, Victor Von Doom is not that powerful. So I don't know why he's trying to make him sound like he's an outer versal level being. He is not. He is not. I don't know where he's getting this from. And once again, I can give you some arguments on why that's not the case. Doctor Doom has gotten his ass beat and struggled to beat Namor. Now he has beaten him, but he's been struggled to beat Namor. Namor is nowhere near that powerful. He's not that powerful at all. I mean, he's powerful, but he's nowhere near universal levels of power. Maybe at most planet level, but even then that's kind of a stretch. And another argument I have against, Doctor Doom being so powerful is, if you guys checked out the Maestro story event, or the newer one they did like a redone or a remastered version called Maestro War and Pax. If you check out that one, you will see in that comic book, or both of those comic books, the original one and the newer one, you will see why Victor Von Doom is not as powerful as people like him make it out to be. Because in that comic book, he got his ass handed to him by Maestro and actually ran away from him. He was about to get killed by him, and he had to run away and escape because of how dangerous he was. And some of you guys might say, well, isn't the Hulk incredibly powerful? Yes, but this is the Maestro version where he's technically weaker. Now, not to go into too much in-depth stuff, but I'll just say this. Maestro's power, the way it works is, since he's in a future where like it's been gamma radiation and stuff, he's stronger than how he used to be. So he's, I think, maybe around 2 times stronger than base Hulk used to be. But the problem with him is he can't get any stronger than that. The original Hulk, the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets, right? But Maestro, he's naturally stronger than base level Hulk. But base level Hulk can at least, get stronger by his rage, whereas Maestro cannot. He cannot get stronger. What power he has then is the power he has throughout the entire time. So he's a weaker version of the Hulk. And guess what? Dr. Doom got his ass whooped. And the Hulk is not an universal level being, especially not the Maestro version of him. He didn't show that levels of power. At most, you could put him at planet level, and still Dr. Doom got his ass whooped and ran away. So no, Dr. Doom is not that powerful. Then talking about Stanley, this one's kind of dumb. Yes, you can argue that, well, he's the creator, so he probably is a godly being in the universe. Or maybe it's just a goofy fun story event, like how Thanos got beaten by the some thugs and then got arrested by cops, and him having a helicopter. There's many goofy stuff that happen in comic books. That doesn't mean that everything that happens you should take seriously. Just because he beat Stanley doesn't mean that Stanley in that comic book is godly level. He could have just wrote himself as a self-insert for a fun thing, and him trying to change him saying, oh, he's iconic, it just means that, people know him for who he is now as the Thing, and if he was to change his character, it will ruin it. So it's just like a story writing narrative point where it's like, oh, he can't do that. So yeah, I disagree with that. And he makes tons of other stupid claims, which I'll get into. So yeah, let's get back into it.
Knows what's up in the hood when it comes to Ben Grimm. Why the fuck don't Orange Piccolo fans know, huh? What about Galactus? Y'all think Orange Piccolo's pulling up on Galactus? Let me tell you this. Galactus took the Destroyer armor from Asgard, was powering it. Is it Destroyer or Executioner? I think it's Destroyer. And he was powering it himself. This is Galactus power. Ben Grimm's flying by and he says, yo, Reed, drop me off, dog. And Reed's like, what? He's like, yo, drop me off right there. And Reed said, dude, that's Galactus. And he has the armor from Asgard. He said, I know. Drop me off. Ben gets dropped off and beats the fuck out that armor. To the point that eventually Galactus has to concede and just relinquish the armor. Abandons it. That's how... You think Orange Piccolo's doing that? Are you serious? He's pulling up on Galactus? What? Like, guys, I get it.
Okay, so let's stop there. Now he's saying Galactus. I already explained Galactus is a comparative to Thanos, who is, galaxy level. And like I said, if you want to say, well, he's beyond that, remember, Thanos needs the Infinity Stones and he needs the Heart of the Universe to be on a universal level, because at max they would be universal level. He needs that just to be that. So if he's so powerful, why would he need items that would put him only universal level? That would put him lower than that. And he's a comparative to Galactus in power. Also, once again, he's not showing any feats that would put Galactus at, outer versal. At most, I would put Galactus at maybe, like I said, galaxy level. But if you want to highball him at most, maybe universal. And he, personally, I feel like he should at least show some universal level feats from Galactus to make that argument, which I don't even think he's universal. I'm just putting it highballing. He's universal. So I don't see that. That's kind of a dumb argument. He beat Galactus. You think he can handle him? Yes, I think he could easily obliterate him. Why would a guy who absorbs planets be on a outer versal level of power? He absorbs planets to get his power, yet he's outer versal levels of power. And he needs that to survive. It's not just like he eats that energy because he enjoys eating it, or it just adds to his power. He eats it to survive. So he needs the energy of a planet to survive, which isn't that much energy if you're an outer versal level character. You would need way more than that. But he was making the argument about he beat the Destroyer armor. Now, the Destroyer armor in Asgard, he's once again not showing how powerful it is. I wouldn't put it at that high level of power unless you're saying somehow it's out of reversal. He keeps on making these statements, but he's not showing it. If you're gonna make such a bold statement like these things he beat it, so that's out of reversal or above that, show me why that's the case. Galactus, he said he put his power in it. I think more of he just controlled it. If you know anything about the Destroyer armor, the Destroyer armor is basically like a robot, like Ultron, and you basically when characters take over it, they're just kind of controlling it, usually with magic and stuff. And from what he's explaining, because he didn't give us the whole context to it, it seems more like Galactus, all he did was basically use his cosmic power to take control over it, like how you would hack a robot, and used it as, coded it to attack him, and he just fought that off, which isn't really, that impressive. He fought a big a suit of armor made out of, I think it was the same thing that's made out of Mjolnir. I forgot what it's called. Uru metal, something like that. But that's still impressive, but not that impressive. He's trying to make it sound like Galactus put his actual power into the thing, so it has the power of the Destroyer armor. With his power, no. All he did is use his power to activate it and use it like a robot, sending basically signals to attack him. So it's more so on the feat is more so on beating the Destroyer's power, not Galactus's power, because I don't think he's putting any additional power into it. My argument is just he's possessing it. He's not actually amplifying the armor itself, where he's trying to make it sound like he did amplify it.
We want Dragon Ball to have a win. You want Orange Piccolo to get a win? Throw him Naruto or something, Have a fun day. Let him get his W. Orange Piccolo's low-key a dad. Happy Father's Day. Go beat up another dad. Go beat up Naruto. He's basically Gohan's dad. Go beat up Naruto. Alright? We'll give him something easy, Give him a layup. Don't come to Ben Grimm's block talking fucking crazy. It's the same dude that was at the end of the creation, which is several layers in the outer versal. Beyond concepts, archetypes, all that. Galactus was dead. Celestials were dead. Infinity was dead. Abstracts are dead. All of them are dead. The words to describe this realm and where it was and the being that did it, it can't even be comprehended or said. Ben Grimm saw this shit. Punched that bitch in the face. Orange Piccolo would never. He could never. It's not the same. When Ben Grimm's serious, it's a wrap. It's not the same.
Okay, so he's saying that he was at the end of the time and all these other giantly powerful beings were dead. He didn't survive through there or go through it. He was transported through there. Obviously, this figure that's here in this image that he's showing transported him into a world in the future where they're all dead. That doesn't mean he survived it. What the fuck is impressive about that? Okay, so the guy showed him the future where he basically defeated them by, the end of end of time. Okay, he transported Ben Grimm to the end of time where all these other celestial beings are dead. Okay, did he survive that, or was he the one who orchestrated, or what? All he's been is got this creature that took him out of time and placed him there, showcasing him what happened. That doesn't mean he survived anything. That's not a feat. That's the dumbest argument. And then he says right here, well, he hit the guy. What, did Orange Piccolo do that? Once again, what is your point? What's the feat here? He hit a guy who's super powerful. Okay, did it hurt him? No. Did it do any damage to him? No. Okay, then that doesn't really matter. Saying that he hit a guy that's super powerful doesn't mean shit unless he hurt the guy. Just hitting him doesn't mean anything. All that means is he has the balls to hit somebody that's that powerful. That doesn't mean he hurt him. You clearly see he came back and attacked him, and all he did was destroy a tree. He sent him flying through a tree. Wow, so impressive. It's so dumb. It's like, have you read the Infinity War storyline where Thanos was fighting against all the the Avengers and stuff like that? Captain America was attacking him. Now Captain America got hits on him, but guess what? It didn't do anything to him, and Thanos allowed him to hit him because he was so powerful that it wouldn't matter anyway. So by his argument and logic, we could also say, well, Captain America was able to hit Thanos with the Infinity Stone. That means Captain America is universal level in power. Or he just fought a guy that was very powerful that didn't give a shit and didn't care. Same thing with this guy. He hit a guy. Okay, did he hurt him? Did he kill him? What did he do? He just hit him? So what? Captain America hit, Thanos. That doesn't mean he's on the same level or even close to it. It's just a dumb argument to make.
Like, you guys could argue the lowest end possible for Ben Grimm. You could argue the lowest end possible and be like, oh, I think this one scan compared to 100 is his consistent. Cool. Goku's laser level. Laser's not doing shit to fucking Ben Grimm. Are you serious? Are you dumb? Are you stupid? We ain't never get that low. We ain't never hit lows like that.
So, sorry for that weird jump cut. Somebody was talking. I had to tell them to quiet down a little bit. You can probably hear them in the back, so sorry for that. But yeah, going back to what he was talking about in his argument, a point that he was making, he stated that, there was the plot-induced stupidity with Goku getting hurt by the laser, and he stated that they've never gone down that low in, Marvel or with the Thing and stuff like that, and saying that, Dragon Ball has these low-end feats, but, Marvel never got that low. Look at how bad they are. And I've always talked about this, how I hated that scene. And we always get Dragon Ball fans saying it makes sense. Toriyama said his power, his guard is down, which I've already disproven that before. I said it's stupid. I've disproven it by showcasing all the way back in Dragon Ball how Goku was able to tank worse than what was shown or close to that. What happened in Resurrection of F, while his guard was 1 down, and 2 while he was completely depleted of energy. So that argument doesn't really work. But he stated that the plot-induced stupidity in Dragon Ball, it goes down to that levels. We don't see that in Marvel. Incorrect. He literally showed an image which I pointed out of, Ben Grimm kicking a rock and hitting him with the boulder, knocking him down. Now, I'm not saying that he hurt him severely, but he did do some damage. And with the being who's supposed to be out of reversal or above that, he should have been able to tank that without it, taking any damage. It shouldn't give him no knockback at all. So that's incorrect. He's trying to laugh at Dragon Ball saying, "Oh, Goku got hurt by a laser." You literally just saw Silver Surfer getting hurt by a boulder getting kicked at him. So yeah, stop with that bullshit. It has been shown in Marvel that they can get hurt by stuff like that. And I already went through the example of Thanos getting beaten up by street criminals. He got beaten by muggers and got arrested by cops. So yes, they do get down to that level of stupidity. They have literally Squirrel Girl beating him. It's just dumb. Let's be honest. They've had some moments which are completely dumb and that are nonsensical. So don't be sitting here saying, "Oh, Dragon Ball has some ridiculous instances where they're super weak," but they don't have it here. And then you literally show an image of Ben kicking a boulder, knocking Silver Surfer off, and then you also forget that Thanos got beaten by street criminals. Come on, get the hell out of here. So yeah, he's definitely dick riding for Ben a little too hard. And one thing that pissed me off when he said earlier, which I was flipping off the camera for, was him saying he should fight somebody like Naruto. Oh, yeah. Just compare him to an unbelievably weaker universe. A universe where people stayed at most as planet level. Compare these outer versal beings that you're saying, or even multiversal level beings, to a fucking planet level beings. That's how weak they are. They're so weak you have to compare to the weak ass shit. And he states in a couple of his other videos that, and I think also in the Goku vs. Superman video, he's like, I don't hate Goku, I just don't think he's as powerful as his fans think he is. But then he dick rides these comic book characters and over exaggerates, like how I pointed out. But he states that's his own problem is the fans over exaggerating, which I do understand in that regard. But he's saying that the fans are over exaggerating and stuff, and he's okay with having them win. But the thing is, he used another anime. I think I was watching another video. It was Goku versus Gojo, and he said Gojo can't even beat Goku at all. And he's saying, "See, I don't hate Dragon Ball. I wouldn't make them win. It's just that some of these videos, the fights are not going to be close, and they're not going to win it." But the only times he gives the Dragon Ball characters a win is when it's against another anime character. He says, well, it's okay if the Dragon Ball characters beat other anime characters, but comparing them to comic book characters, we can't. Because he's a comic book dick rider, he's a comic book fan, he's a comic book shill. His arguments are, these characters in these other universes are fictions, like, anime, cannot contest with comic book characters because they're comic book characters. So that's basically what he was getting at.
Y'all are struggle rappers out here compared to Ben Grimm with your scaling. Like, stop it. This man Ben Grimm's the fucking GOAT. There's nothing Orange Piccolo is going to do to him he hasn't seen before, or that's put him down. Knocked out Devil Hulk. Took his ass down. The same Hulk that one hit Thor, and he had to sit down. He was like, you know what, sub me out, coach. I'm fucked. I can't do this anymore. He was like, I've never been hit like that before in my life. Thor, who's taken high outer shots before.
Okay, let's get into that. That is wrong. That is completely wrong. I did read that storyline. It was in the Immortal Hulk run. It was a 50-issue run. I think it was around like the late 40s. I don't know exactly what issue it was. Maybe issue 46. I'll give you a little bit of a rundown because he doesn't give the context to what happened. He just says some bullshit and takes things out of context to make them sound more powerful. But I'll get into that. Now, if you guys don't know who the Devil Hulk is, the Devil Hulk is another side of the Hulk, which is his most powerful version of him. It's basically a version of him that's been with him since he was a kid. It was protecting him from his abuse from his father. And when there's a storyline throughout, the Immortal Hulk run, I think even before that, where there was a being called the One Below All in this place called the Green Door. Now, this is basically in hell, and he's basically kind of like the devil. He's the opposite of the One Above All. So the One Above All is the god of the entire Marvel universe. He's the most powerful being, and then there's the One Below All, which is basically, I guess you could say, the devil to God. And he in the future storyline, he showcases Hulk of Future that the Devil Hulk side in Hulk goes evil and takes over, and the One Below All, I think, yeah, that's what he's called. He possesses that version, and he's become so powerful he wipes out the universes and becomes a multiversal level threat. So that's what happens in that storyline. But normally, the Devil Hulk is not that level of power. It's just when he gets possessed and taken over fully by the One Below All. But normally, he's still pretty powerful. He's the most powerful version of the Incredible Hulk, okay? And this is important because in that storyline, what happened was there was something with the leader. He went down to the Green Door, and then there was a connection with Hulk's dad, and it was basically the One Below All orchestrating this. And as they did this, they were infecting his mind and separating Bruce from it. And this had Joe Fixit take over. But then Joe Fixit got pushed to the side, and then you had, the Devil Hulk take over. But he was just taking over the mind of, the Immortal Hulk's body. What happened in that story was the Hulk took anti-gamma, I think it was. He took gamma radiation with his gamma radiation, so he got an amp from that. And he was in this Devil Hulk mindset with that amp. Now, that amp did not make him multiversal or whatever. They never stated how powerful he got. But he wasn't even destroying the planet that he was on. He was just it's like basically it's like Immortal Hulk with a power amp. That's it. So just imagine how powerful Immortal Hulk is, and then give him a power amp, and that's how powerful you would have that version of the Hulk. He did beat Thor. He beat Cosmic Thor, but he doesn't showcase any feats that would put Cosmic Thor on that level to make that statement. And he didn't one-shot Cosmic Thor. He had a back and forth fight with him, and Cosmic Thor afterwards realized that, yeah, he can't beat him. So he is right about him beating him, but he didn't one-shot him. And Ben Grimm, this is where the bullshit comes in. He said Ben Grimm beat him. No, he didn't. Ben Grimm actually got destroyed. If you read the actual storyline, I think it was Comics Explained. He showed in one of his videos, if you go check out his channel, where the Thing had a fight against Hulk and got his ass beat. So the Thing was in his way, and I don't think he was possessed by the Devil Hulk at that time. He was possessed by Joe Fixit. Joe Fixit had his mind, and he had the body, and he was just done with it. He's like, I don't want to deal with you guys, get the hell out of my way. And Ben was like, he's like, I'm gonna fight you and stuff like that. He's like, dude, trust me, you don't want to handle me right now. I'm not here to play with you. So they got into a fight, and Ben Grimm actually lost. If you've seen the comic book issue, Ben does some decent damage, but as he's fighting him, the Hulk is holding back, and then he's like, fuck it. So he goes for broke. They both punch each other, and Ben's entire arm gets obliterated. The rocks on it get blown off, and you just see the meat under it. It looks kind of gross. So he has like the meat under his arm and gets beaten up. He loses in the fight. So he fucking lied there. So yeah, don't trust this guy 100%. I will say that he has some good arguments, but I also think he kind of bullshits a little bit to, fit his narrative. So yeah, that was not the Devil Hulk's power. It was just an amped Immortal Hulk. Second of all, he did not one-shot that Thor. He actually it was a whole battle that they had that led to it. Third of all, this doesn't showcase that Thor is on that level of power. Fourth, the Ben Grimm versus the Hulk. The Hulk was actually, he didn't want to deal with him. He just wanted him out of his way. And the fifth point about that is Ben actually lost. He lost the fight. If you actually check it out, you would find out this guy's lying. He's saying Ben beat him. No, he didn't. Ben got destroyed. His whole arm literally got destroyed. The rocks got blown off. And it didn't show any feats on, even universal levels of power. So if you guys want to check it out, go to the Immortal Hulk storyline writing. It's 50 issues written by Al Ewing, and I think it's chapter or issue 46. I could be wrong, but it's around the 40s range. It's towards the end of that story.
fought Eternity level beings before, who's fought Mephisto, who literally threatened the Omniverse, like all these things. Never been hit like something like that. Ben Grimm took his ass out, right? You look at that same Hulk, obviously murders Orange Piccolo. There's so many instances, and you gotta understand why Ben Grimm scales like this. Back then, the Fantastic Four are exploring the multiverse and beyond. They were the pioneers. They're the ones going forth into the landscape to figure out what the fuck the vibes are. Ben Grimm was the muscle. Ben Grimm was the one, when they run into gods and deities, he's like, alright, Reed, figure out how to get us the fuck out of here. I'm gonna go brawl with some shit. So naturally, he's brawling with crazy things. You know who his fucking ops been this whole time? Someone he beefs with for fun? They just fight each other on a Tuesday? Hulk! Hulk turns Orange Piccolo into fucking toothpaste. Like, what?
Okay, let's talk right here. He's saying some of the dumbest shit possible. He stated that he fought Mephisto, who is that powerful, which I do agree. Mephisto 100% is very powerful. But the thing is, he's stating that he fought him. Once again, that doesn't mean anything. Did he hurt Mephisto? Did he beat him? Was he giving him a challenge? Or was he just fighting him? Anybody can fight anybody. That doesn't mean that they're actually giving them a challenge. I can fight Mike Tyson. Doesn't mean I'm fucking Mike Tyson level. That's just stupid. Like I stated in that argument about the whole Infinity War story event, where Thanos had the Infinity Gauntlet and he was messing with, the reality, and all the Avengers were trying to fight him, and Captain America fought him. But Captain America was not on his level. He was toying with them. So just saying that this character fought that character doesn't mean anything, unless you're saying that he's close to that level, which, let's be honest, Captain America is not close to Thanos' level, even without the Infinity Gauntlet, and especially not without that, especially with that. So that's a dumb argument to make. He fought Mephisto. Okay, that doesn't mean anything. A lot of characters can fight him. It's one thing if he was able to go toe-to-toe with him, if that's your argument, but saying he just fought him doesn't mean shit. You can fight any character. Captain America fought, Thanos. He's not Thanos level, so stop with that. And then he said, he normally goes back and forth with the Hulk, which I'll get into that. I do love the Hulk. He's my favorite, fictional character of all time. I like him more than any character in Dragon Ball. But even I'm going to admit that he would not beat any of the characters in Dragon Ball. And I'll get into that. But he states he fights the galactic beings to hold it off. Once again, these galactic beings show us the ones that he did fight, and if he did, is he actually being able to handle them and hold them back, or is it just them just messing with him and beating the crap out of him and just using him as a puppet or whatever? But he stated that he fights the Hulk most casually. He's his rival, right? And he's saying that Orange Piccolo can't handle him. Bullshit. Yes, he can. The Hulk, when he gets to his most powerful forms, usually he's around planet level or above that. If you see the World Breaker Hulk storyline, he goes into another dimension and he's fighting against Red She-Hulk, and as they fight, they destroy the planet they're on, and that is stated to be an impressive feat. That is nowhere near universal level. That's planet level. It's even in the name, World Breaker. Yes, he's beyond that, but he's not that much beyond that. And he has shown some instances where he's had feats above that, but that isn't all the time, and that is one-off stuff. That's like once in a while stuff. But normally he's around, like, at the highest is planet level. Even in the newer storyline that they had, I forgot what the name of it is, Starship Hulk. In the new Starship Hulk one, he was like getting gamma powered, and he had like an even more powerful form, but it was only planet level. They were destroying planets. So most of the time Hulk is around, like, at the highest is planet level. He's not on universal levels. So him saying, Orange Piccolo could not contest with him, yes, the fuck he can. What are you on? What are you smoking, bro? This guy is literally a planet level being at his highest. Normally he's not even on that level. So you're telling me that Orange Piccolo can't handle that? Get the hell out of here. Also, most of the times that Ben Grimm has fought against the Hulk is beating him. And even with them fighting against each other, most of their fights that they had has been regular Hulk, mainly Savage Hulk, which is the weakest, not the weakest, but one of the weakest versions of Hulk. There's obviously Joe Fixit and Maestro who are weaker, but Savage Hulk is one of the weakest and more basic levels of Hulk's power. And guess what? He always beats Ben Grimm. So Ben Grimm is, not on, top Hulk levels power. He's more on low level Hulk's power. Usually Savage Hulk. Most of their fights is against Savage Hulk or a weaker version of Hulk. And he gets bodied by him every time, which he's not, even at his highest, he's not universal. So that discredits his argument completely. If you know anything about comic books, you would know that Hulk is not outer versal levels of power. He sometimes showcases insane feats, but no, not usually. He's not on outer versal levels of power. He's mostly on planet level. That's what happened to the World Breaker Hulk story event, and that was one of the times where he was at his highest level of power. And Ben Grimm has never fought a Hulk at that level of power. If he did, he would have been obliterated. So that already discredits his whole argument here. I think Orange Piccolo would body him, especially by the comparisons of him being compared to Goku or outer versal. I just think that's just too ridiculous.
Ben Grimm fights him for fun. Stop, Orange Piccolo fans. Go pick on someone safe. Please, go try someone else. Not Ben Grimm. That's not gonna happen here, not on this channel. We don't stoop that low. That's crazy. Ben Grimm, especially pissed off, puts Orange Piccolo on a fucking t-shirt, and I'm not going back and forth on it.
So that was Jobbers and Goons video called Why Orange Piccolo versus the Thing Isn't Even Close. I 100% disagree with it. I think it's a dumb, stupid take. I mean, most of his arguments was just basically, he beat this character and that character and that character, and then didn't go in depth and what impressive feats that they've shown for him to be, outer versal level of power. He beat these characters. Okay, can you show me some feats of what they've done to be, considered such an impressive feat? Oh, you're just going to say it? Okay, whatever. But also, like I said, I had some arguments for it. Silver Surfer equivalent to Galactus, Galactus equivalent to Thanos, Thanos is equivalent to Galaxy level, and we also know that he's not on universal levels of power because usually when he does get on those levels of power, he has to have an item that puts him on that level. If he was above that, he wouldn't need those items that would only max out to those if you think about it logically. And then he mentioned Doctor Doom. Like I said, Doctor Doom naturally is not that powerful. It's the only reason he was that powerful in Secret Wars is because he was able to obtain the power of a god. Normally, he doesn't have godly levels of power. He's just really good at strategizing, like Batman. Batman's not really OP. It's just that he has he has intelligence and he has tricks that he can do to help benefit him and give him more of an advantage against more powerful beings. It's not that he's really powerful. And like I stated, Doctor Doom got his ass beat by Maestro, who is a weaker version of Hulk, and he ran away like a bitch. So he's clearly not that powerful. Also, he's gotten beaten up by Black Panther without his godly Panther powers, and he's gotten beaten up by Namor. So he's definitely not that powerful as he's making it out to be. Galactus, I already went through him completely. The Stan Lee thing, I think that's dumb. It's just probably just a goof there. Him fighting Mephisto, he didn't beat Mephisto, he just fought him. And then the whole Hulk thing, he lied about him beating the Devil Hulk. That wasn't the Devil Hulk. That was a power-amped Immortal Hulk with the mind of Joe Fixit. And he lost that fight too. He didn't win that one. He lost that, so he's lying there too. And he's saying him and Hulk. He casually fights him, but most of the times he fights is the weaker version of Hulk, which is a Savage Hulk, who's not on those levels of power. And even if we put Hulk on the high levels of power, we usually should put him at planet level, because if it wasn't, then those planet level feats wouldn't be impressive or that impressive. The fact that him and She-Hulk destroyed a planet by fighting, or them calling him World Breaker Hulk, even in World War Hulk, he stomped and destroyed the eastern seaboard of America, and that was considered impressive. So yeah, he's at most at planet level. He can go beyond that, but not to universal levels of power. So this is completely dumb video. It was a complete wank. He's dick riding Ben Grimm a little too hard. Go somewhere else with that. Or he's like, we're not gonna do that on this channel. And I'm just laughing. I'm like, yeah, obviously you're just gonna bullshit and just not even go in depth in any feats. Luckily, his Goku vs Superman video, he has more feats there. It's more than just, oh, Superman beat this character and beat that character. He goes more in depth, but also even then, there were some problems there, which I'll be getting onto next. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for next time.